In my second episode, we learned a bit about the Red House. In this episode, we will focus on what's inside the Red House, the Parliament. The Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, known also as the legislature, is the branch of the government trusted with the responsibility of making laws for the good governance. Hi learners, welcome to another episode of Learning with Alyssa. On Friday, December 29, 1961, the House of Representatives and the Senate sat for the first time in the history of Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. The Parliament was known as an independent Parliament when Trinidad and Tobago got independence on August 31, 1962. On August 1, 1976, Trinidad and Tobago became a republic. A republican constitution provides for a president who is the head of state and commander-in-chief of the armed force, with great constitutional power extending to all three branches of government. I will speak more on this later. Here are the past and present presidents of Trinidad and Tobago. However, Republic Day is celebrated on September 24th every year to mark the date when the first Parliament met under the new Republican Constitution. From then on, Trinidad and Tobago's Parliament was known as a Republican Parliament. The Parliament is bicameral. A bicameral system describes a government that has a two-house legislative system, such as the Senate, also known as the Upper House, and the House of Representatives, also known as the Lower House. Along with the President of Trinidad and Tobago, the Parliament includes the House of Representatives, which consists of the Speaker of the House in addition to 41 directly elected members who serve 5-year terms in single-seat constituencies. These members are elected through what is called a general election, when voters, persons who are citizens, 18 years and older, and are registered, giving them the legal rights to vote. Voters will go to their district, which is called their constituency, and cast a vote by putting an X on the ballot paper next to their favorite candidate or political party of their choice, as there is only one candidate for each party. These are the constituencies of Trinidad and Tobago. The candidate with the most votes become the Member of Parliament, MP, for that constituency. The leader of the party that has the most MPs elected after a general election becomes the Prime Minister and is asked to form the government. This is called first past the post, electoral system used to elect members of Parliament. The party with the second highest amount of MPs elected becomes the opposition. and they are tasked with asking the government to explain its action and debating bills amongst other things. Parliament also consists of the Senate, which has 31 members called senators, 16 on the advice of the Prime Minister, 6 on the advice of the Leader of the Opposition, and 9 on the President's discretion, whom are all appointed by the President. The President also appoints the Prime Minister, Leader of the Opposition, the Attorney General, and ministers to their ministries on the advice of the Prime Minister. Here are the past and present Prime Ministers of Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago follows a Westminster system. The Westminster system or Westminster model is a type of parliamentary government that incorporates a series of procedures for operating a legislature. This concept was first developed in England, a model based on responsible government. Key aspects of the Westminster system is the concept that power is separated between the three branches of government, creating a system of checks and balances. These branches are the judiciary, the court which interpret and apply the law, the executive, the president, prime minister, cabinet ministers, departments and agencies which are responsible for implementing laws, and the legislature, the parliament, the Senate, and House of Representatives which makes the laws. The separation of powers is considered one of the foundations of fair government. The government budget is also presented in the Parliament. There are budget statements dating back to 1972 from the Ministry of Finance. A government budget is an estimate of the government's revenues, the income, and expenditure, the spending, read out every year for a particular period of time, often referred to as a financial or fiscal year. It may or may not match with the calendar year. The government budget is prepared by the Trinidad and Tobago Government Ministry of Finance and presented to the Parliament by the Minister of Finance. In most parliamentary systems, the budget is presented to the legislator and often requires approval of the legislator. Government budget can be classified in different types. A balanced budget, when government revenue, the income, are equal to the government expenditure, the spending. A deficit budget, when government expenditure exceeds government revenue. And a surplus budget, when government revenue exceeds expenditure. The term parliament in the Trinidad and Tobago setting can mean several things. For most, the term parliament means the building in which members assemble to conduct business. This topic is very large to cover everything, so I encourage you to do further research. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for more awesome learning videos.